The priestly blessing. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." Offerings at the dedication of the tabernacle. When Moses finished setting up the tabernacle, he anointed and consecrated it and all its furnishings. He also anointed and consecrated the altar and all its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the heads of families who were the tribal leaders in charge of those who were counted, made offerings. They brought as their whole gifts before the Lord 6 covered carts and 12 oxen, the ox from each leader, and a leader and a cart from every two. They are presented before the tabernacle. The Lord said to Moses, "Accept these from them, that they may be used in the work at the tent of meeting. Give them to the Levites as each man work requires." So Moses took the carts and oxen and gave them to the Levites. He gave 2 carts and 4 oxen to the Gershonites and their work as their work required. He gave 4 carts and 8 oxen to the Merarites as their work required. They were all under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest, but Moses did not give any to the Kohathites because they were to carry on their shoulders the holy things for which they were responsible. When the altar was anointed, the leaders brought their offerings for its dedication and presented them before the altar. For the Lord had said to Moses, "Each day one leader is to bring his offering for the dedication of the altar." The one who brought his offering on the first day was Nahshon son of Amminadab of the tribe of Judah. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Nahshon son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel son of Zuar, the leader of Issachar, brought his offering. The offering he brought was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Nathaniel son of Zuar. On the third day of Eliab son of Helon, the leader of the people of Zebulun, brought his offering. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, and one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, 2 dozen oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day of Eliezer, son of Shador, the leader of the people of Reuben, brought his offering. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Eliezer, son of Shadur. On the fifth day, Shelemiel, son of Zurishaddai, the leader of the people of Simeon, brought his offering. This offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, and one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Shemiel, the son of Zerishadai. On the sixth day, Elisab, son of Duil, leader of the people of Gad, brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and two oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Elisab, son of Duil. On the seventh day of Elshema, son of Amihud, the leader of the people, of Ephraim brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, and one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Elishma of Amihud. On the eighth day of Gamaliel, son of Pediezer, the leader of the people of Manasseh, brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This is the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedizur. On the fifth day of Abidan, son of Gideon, the leader of the people of Benjamin, brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Abidan, son of Gidoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Amishadai, the leader of the people of Dan, brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Ahiezer, son of Amishadai. On the 11th day of Pagiel, son of Okran, the leader of the people of Asher, brought his offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, and one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, two oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. This was the offering of Pagel, son of Okran. On the 12th day of Ahira, son of Enam, the leader of the people of Naphtali, brought this offering. His offering was one silver plate weighing 130 shekels, one silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, one gold dish weighing 10 shekels, filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering. These are the offerings of Ahira, son of Enan. These were the offerings of the Israelite leaders for the dedication of the altar when it was anointed: 12 silver plates, 12 silver sprinkling bowls, 12 gold dishes. Each silver plate weighed 130 shekels, and each sprinkling bowl 70 shekels. Altogether, the silver dishes weighed 2,400 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. The 12 gold dishes filled with incense weighed 10 shekels each, according to the sanctuary shekel. Altogether, the gold dishes weighed 120 shekels. A total number of animals for the burnt offering came to 12 young bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs a year old, together with their grain offering. 12 male goats were used for the sin offering. The total number of animals for the sacrifice of the fellowship offering came to 24 oxen, 60 rams, 60 male goats, 60 male lambs a year old. These were the offerings for the dedication of the altar after it was anointed. When Moses entered the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the two cherubim from the atonement cover on the ark of the covenant law. And this way the Lord spoke to him. Setting up the lamps. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and say to him, when we when you set up the lamps, see all the seven light up the area in front of the lampstand." Aaron did so. He set up the lamps so they faced toward on the lampstand, just as the Lord commanded Moses. This is how the lampstand was made. It was made of hammered gold from its base to its blossoms. The lampstand was made exactly like the pattern the Lord had showed Moses. The setting apart of the Levites. The Lord said to Moses, "Take a Levite from among all the Israelites and make them ceremonially clean. To purify them, do this: sprinkle the water of cleansing on them, then have them shave their whole bodies and wash their clothes, and so they will purify themselves. Have them take a young bull with his grain offering of the finest flour mixed with olive oil. Then you were to take a second young bull for a sin offering. Bring the Levites to the front of the tent of meeting and assemble the whole Israelite community. You were to bring the Levites before the Lord, and the Israelites are to lay their hands on them. Aaron is to present the Levites before the Lord as a wave offering from the Levites, so that they may be ready to do the work of the Lord. Then the Levites are to lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, using one for a sin offering to the Lord and the other for a burnt offering to make atonement for the Levites. Have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons, and then present them as a wave offering for the Lord. In this way, you were to set the Levites apart from the other of the from the other Israelites, and the Levites will be mine. After you have purified the Levites and presented them as wave offering, they're they are to come and do their work at the tent of meeting. They are the Israelites to be giving holy to me. I have taken them as my own in place of the firstborn, the first male offspring from every Israelite woman. Every firstborn male in Israel, whether human or animal, is mine. When I struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, I set them apart for myself, and I have taken the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons in Israel. From among all the Israelites, I have given the Levites as gifts to Aaron and his sons to do the work of the tent of meeting on behalf of the Israelites, and to make atonement for them, so no plague will strike the Israelites when they go up near the sanctuary. Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community did with the Levites, just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Levites purified themselves and washed their clothes. Then Aaron presented them as a wave offering before the Lord and made atonement for them to purify them. After that, the Levites came to do their work at the tent of meeting under the supervision of Aaron and his sons. They did with the Levites just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "This applies to the Levites. Men 25 years old or more shall come take part in the work of the tent of meeting, but at the age of 50, they must retire from their regular service and work no longer. They may assist their brothers in performing their duties at the tent of meeting, but they themselves must not do the work. Then this is how you are to assign the responsibilities of the Levites." The Passover. The Lord spoke to Moses in the desert of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they came out of Egypt. He said, "Have the Israelites celebrate the Passover at the appointed time. Celebrate it at the appointed time at twilight on the 14th day of this month, in accordance with all its rules and regulations." So Moses told the Israelites to celebrate the Passover, and they did it in the desert of Sinai, twilight of the 14th day of the first month. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord commanded Moses, but some of them could not celebrate the Passover on that day because they were ceremonially unclean on account of a dead body. So they came to Moses and Aaron that same day and said to Moses, "We have become unclean because of a dead body, but why should we be kept from presenting the Lord's offering with the other Israelites at the appointed time?" Moses answered them, "Wait until I find out what the Lord commands concerning you." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, when any of you or your descendants are unclean because of a dead body or are away on a journey, they are to still celebrate the Lord's Passover, but they are to do it on the 14th day of the second month at twilight. They are to eat the lamb together with the unleavened bread and the bitter herbs. They must not leave any of it till morning or break any of its bones. When they celebrate the Passover, they must follow all the regulations. But anyone who is ceremonially unclean and not on a journey fails to celebrate the Passover, they must be cut off from their people for not presenting the Lord's offering at the appointed time. They will bear the consequences of their sin. A foreigner residing among you is to celebrate the Lord's Passover in accordance with its rules and regulations. You must have the same regulations for both foreigner and the native born. The cloud above the tabernacle. On the day of the tabernacle, the tent of the covenant law was set up. The cloud covered it from evening till morning. The cloud above the tabernacle looked like fire. That is how it continued to be. The cloud covered it, and at night it looked like fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from above the tent, the Israelites set out. Whenever the cloud settled, the Israelites encamped. At the Lord's command, the Israelites set out. At his command, they encamped. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they remained encamped. When the cloud remained over the tabernacle a long time, the Israelites obeyed the Lord's order and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud was over the tabernacle only a few days. At the Lord's command, they would command, they would encamp. Then at his command, they would set out. Sometimes the cloud stayed only from evening till morning, and when it lifted in the morning, they set out, whether by day or by night. Whether the cloud lifted, they set out. Whether the cloud stayed over the tabernacle for 2 days or a month or a year, the Israelites would not remain in camp and not set out, but when it lifted, they would set out. And the Lord's command in camp, and at the Lord's command, they set out. They obeyed the Lord's order in accordance with his command through Moses. The silver trumpets. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take 2 trumpets of hammered silver and use them for calling the community together, for having the camp set out. When both are surrounded, the whole community is to assemble before you at the entrance to the tent of meeting. If only one is surrounded, the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, are to assemble before you. When the trumpet blast is sounded, the tribes camping on the east are to set out at the sounding of a second blast. The camps on the south are to set out. The blast will be signal for setting out, to gather the assembly. Blow the trumpets, but not with the signal for setting out. The sons of Aaron the priest are to blow the trumpets, and this is to be a lasting ordinance for you in generations to come. When you go into battle in your own land against the enemy who is oppressing you, sound a blast on the trumpet, then you will be remembered by the Lord your God and rescued from your enemies. Also, at your times of rejoice at your times of rejoicing, your appointed festival, new moon feast, you are to sound the trumpets over your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings. They will be a memorial for you before your God. I am the Lord your God. The Israelites leave Sinai. On on the 20th day of the second month of the second year, the cloud lifted from above the tabernacle of the covenant law. Then the Israelites set out from the deserts of Sinai and traveled from place to place until the cloud came to the desert of Param. They set out this first time at the Lord's command through Moses. The divisions of the camp of Judah went first under their standard. Nahshon, son of Amminadab, was in command. Nathaniel, son of Zuar, was over the division of the tribe of Issachar. Elab, son of Helon, was over the division of the tribe of Zebulun. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonites, Mirites who carried it set out. The divisions of the camp of Reuben went next. Under their under their standard, Eliezer, son of Shadir, was in command. Shalumiel, son of Zurishaddai, was over the division of the tribe of Simeon, and Elisab, son of Deuel, was over the division of the tribe of Gad. Then the Kohathites set out carrying the holy things. The tabernacle was to be set up before they arrived. The divisions of the camp of Ephraim went next. Under their standard, Elishama, son of Amihud, was in command. Gamaliel, son of Pedizur, was over the division of the tribe of Manasseh, and Abidan, son of Jedoni was over the division of the tribe of Benjamin. Finally, as a rear guard for all the units, the division of the camp of Dan set out under their standard. Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, was in command. Pagiel, son of Okran, was over the division of the tribe of Asher, and Ahira, son of Enan, was over the division of the tribe of Naphtali. This was the order of march for the Israelites' divisions as they set out. Now Moses said to Hobab, son of Reuel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are setting out for the place about which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come with us and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised good things to Israel. He answered, No, I will not go. I am going back to my own land and my own people. But Moses said, Please do not leave us. You know where we should camp in the wilderness, and you can be our eyes. If you come with us, we will share with you whatever good things the Lord gives us. So they set out from the mountain of the Lord and traveled for 3 days. The ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them during the 3 days to find a place to rest. The cloud of the Lord was over them by day when they set out from the camp. Whenever the ark set out, Moses said, Rise up, Lord, may your enemies be scattered, may your foes flee before you. And whenever it came to rest, he said, Return, Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel. Fire from the Lord. Now the people complained about their hardships in the hearing of the Lord. And when he heard him, his anger was aroused. Then the fire from the Lord burned among them and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses, he prayed to the Lord, and the fire dried down. So that place was called Taberah because fire from the Lord had burned among them. Quail from the Lord. The rabble with them began to crave other food. The Israelites started wailing and said, If only we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumber, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our appetite, and we never see anything but this manna. The manna was like coriander seed and looked like resin. The people went around it gathering it, and they gathered it in a hand mill or crushed it in a mortar. They cooked it in a pot or made it into loaves, and it tasted like something made with olive oil. When the dew settled on the camp at night, the manna also came down. Moses heard the people of, of every family wailing at the entrance to their tents. The Lord became exceedingly angry, and, and Moses was troubled. He asked the Lord, Why have you brought this trouble on your servant? What have I done to displease you that you put the burden of all these people on me? Did I conceive all these people? Did I give them birth? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carries an infant to the land you promised on oath to their ancestors? Where can I get meat for all these people? They kept wailing to me, Give us meat to eat. I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy for me. If this is how you were going to treat me, please go ahead and kill me. If I found favor in your eyes, do not let me face my own ruin. The Lord said to Moses, Bring me 70 of Israel's elders who are known to you as leaders and officials among the people. Have them come to the tent of meeting, that they may stand there with you, and I will come down and speak with you, and I will take some of the power of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them. They will share a burden of the people with you, so that you will not have to carry it alone. Tell the people, Consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow. Then when you will eat when you will eat meat. The Lord heard you when you wailed, If only we had meat to eat. We were better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will eat it. You will not eat it just for 1 day, 2 days, or 5, 10, or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and you loathe it. Because you have rejected the Lord who is among you, you have wailed before him, saying, Why did we ever leave Egypt? But Moses said, Here I am among 600,000 men on foot, and you say, I will give them meat to eat for a whole month. Would they have enough if flocks and herds were slaughtered for them? Would they have enough if all the fish in the sea were caught up for them? The Lord answered Moses, Is the Lord's arm too short? Now you will see whether or not what I say will come true for you. So Moses went out and told the people what the Lord had said, and he brought them together 70 of their elders and had them stand around the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke with them, and he took some of the power of the Spirit that was on him and put it on the 70 elders. When the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but did not do so again. However, two men whose names were Eldad and Medad had remained in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but did not go out to the tent. Yet the Spirit also rested on them, and they prophesied in the camp. A young man ran and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' aide since youth, spoke up and said, Moses, my Lord, stop them. But Moses replied, Are you jealous for my sake? I wish all that the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit on them. Then Moses and the elders of Israel returned to the camp. Now a wind went out from the Lord and drove quail in from the sea. It scattered them up to 2 cubits deep all around the camp, as far as the days walk in any direction. All that day and night, and all the next day, the people went out and gathered quail. No one gathered less than 10 homers. Then they spread them out all around the camp, but while the meat was still between their teeth and before it could be consumed, the anger of the Lord burned against the people. He struck them with a severe plague. Therefore, the place was named Kibroth Hattavoth, because they were buried the people who crave other food. From Kibroth Hattavoth, the people traveled to Hezron and stayed there. Miriam and Aaron opposed Moses. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, for he married a Cushite. Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? They asked. Hasn't he also spoken through us? And the Lord heard this. Now Moses was a very humble man, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth. At once the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Miriam, come out to the tent of meeting, all 3 of you. So they went. So 3 of them went out, and the Lord came down in a pillar cloud. He stood at the entrance of the tent and summoned Aaron and Miriam. When the 2 of them stepped forward, he said, Listen to my words. When there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, reveal to myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams, but this is not my true servant Moses. But this is not true of my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. With him I speak face to face, clearly and not in riddles. He sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? The anger of the Lord had burned against them, and he had left them. When the cloud lifted from above the tent, Miriam's skin was leprous. It became as white as snow. Aaron turned toward her and saw that she had a defiling skin disease. And he said to Moses, Please, my Lord, I ask you not to hold against us the sin we have foolishly committed. Do not let her be like a stillborn infant coming from its mother's womb with its flesh half eaten away. So Moses cried out to the Lord, Please, God, heal her. The Lord replied to Moses, If her father had spit in her face, would she have not been in disgrace for 7 days? Confine her outside the camp for 7 days. After that, she can be brought back. So Miriam was confined outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not move until she was brought back. After that, the people left Hazeroth and encamped in the desert of Param, exploring the Canaan. The Lord said to Moses, Send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving the Israelites from each ancestral tribe. Send one of its leaders, the Lord's commandment, so so that at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the desert of Paran. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. These are their names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shammah son of Zakur; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti son of Rapu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadil son of Sodi; from the tribe of Manasseh, a tribe of Joseph, Gadi son of Susi; from the tribe of Dan, Ameliel son of Gemali; from the tribe of Asher, Sethur son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi son of Bopsi; from the tribe of Gad, Geuel son of Maki. These are the names of the men that Moses sent to explore the land. Moses gave Hosea the son of Nun the name Joshua. When Moses sent them to explore Canaan, they said, Go up through the Negev and on the hill country and see what the land is like, and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? What kind of towns do they live in? Are they unwalled or fortified? How is the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are there trees in it or not? Do your best to bring back some of the fruit of the land. It was the season for the first ripe of grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the desert of Zin as far as Rehob toward Lebo, Hamath. They went up through the Negev and came to Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Tamai, the descendants of Anak, lived. Hebron had been built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. When they reached the valley of Eshcol, they cut off a branch bearing a single crust bearing a single cluster of grapes. Two of them carried it on a pole between them, along with some pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes the Israelites cut off there. At the end of 40 days, they returned from exploring the land.